If you are here listening to this kind of content, you probably care about more than just English. You care about who you are becoming, how you think, how you act, and how far you can go. If that is you, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. It is a small action, but it helps this project grow and helps this type of message reach more people who need it. Today, we are going to talk about how to be unstoppable. This sounds very strong. Unstoppable. Maybe you imagine someone who never feels fear, never feels doubt, never gets tired, never cries. Let us remove that fantasy right now. To be unstoppable does not mean you never fall. It means you do not stay down forever. To be unstoppable does not mean you never feel afraid. It means you do not let fear be the final voice. To be unstoppable does not mean life is easy. It means you keep moving even when life is not. We all know people who are very talented, very intelligent, but seem stuck. They start things, but they stop. They dream, but they do not act. And we also know people who maybe are not the most talented, not the most brilliant, but they keep going. They keep trying. They keep getting up after each fall. Guess who reaches more of their goals? Not always the most talented, but almost always the most persistent. So, how do you become that kind of person? Someone who feels fear, doubt, laziness, frustration, but still keeps moving. Someone who, over time, becomes unstoppable in a real human way. Let us start with the simple idea. You do not need to be unstoppable in everything. You only need to be unstoppable about what truly matters. Trying to be unstoppable in every area at the same time is a recipe for exhaustion. So the first question is, in what areas of my life do I want to be unstoppable? Maybe your English, your health, your personal growth, a project, your financial life, your spiritual life. Keep that in the back of your mind. We will come back to it. Now, people think being unstoppable is about willpower. Some people are strong, some people are weak. I am just not strong enough. But being unstoppable is much more about strategy, mindset, and environment than about some magical willpower. Let us explore 3 pillars of being unstoppable. We can call them clarity, resilience, consistency. First, clarity. You cannot be unstoppable if you're not clear about where you're going. Imagine a car with a full tank of fuel, a strong engine, but no destination. It drives in circles. That is many people. Busy, tired, moving a lot, but not really going anywhere. Clarity answers 3 questions. What do I want? Why do I want it? How will I move in that direction, starting small? For example, with English, what do I want? I want to be able to have real conversations without freezing. Or, I want to work using English to open better opportunities. Why? Because I want more freedom in my career. Because I want to travel and connect with more people. Because I want to prove to myself that I can. How? Starting small. I will listen to English for 15 minutes a day and speak out loud for 10 minutes, 5 days a week. Clarity does not mean you know every step. It means you know the direction and you know what to do today. When you are clear, your energy has a place to go. Second pillar, resilience. Resilience is your ability to feel discomfort and keep going. If you want to be unstoppable, you must accept a simple truth. The road will not be smooth. You will feel fear, boredom, frustration, self-doubt, criticism from others, and sometimes criticism from yourself. People who stop quickly believe these feelings are a sign that they should stop. I feel afraid. Maybe this means it is not for me. I feel bored. Maybe this means I should quit. I failed. Maybe this means I am not capable. People who become unstoppable interpret these same feelings in another way. I feel afraid. This means I'm doing something important and new. I feel bored. This is a normal part of the process. I will continue anyway. I failed. This hurts. But it is information. I will learn and adjust. Resilience is not about never feeling weak. It is about not letting temporary weakness become a permanent decision. Let us bring this to English again. You are in a conversation. You do not understand everything. Option 1. You think, this is horrible. I cannot do this. You shut down. You avoid. Option 2. You think, this is hard. Of course it is hard. It is a second language. But I can ask them to repeat. I can ask for help. I can survive the discomfort. You stay. You practice. You grow. The same situation. Different inner attitude. Resilience is built through practice, not through theory. Every time you stay 1 minute longer in something uncomfortable, you are training your resilience muscle. Third pillar, consistency. We already talked about this deeply in another video, but here is the connection with being unstoppable. To be unstoppable is not only to start again after a big fall, it is also to keep going through many small, ordinary days. People who are unstoppable do not wait for motivation to act. They build routines, habits, systems that make action the default option. They protect time for what matters, even when life is busy. Consistency is the proof that you are serious. Anyone can be excited for 3 days. Unstoppable people show up on day 30, day 90, day 300. Not perfectly, but regularly. Now, if we stop here, it sounds beautiful but very abstract. So let us make this more practical. We can call this part, How to be Unstoppable in Real Life. Step 1. Choose your arena. You cannot be unstoppable in everything at once. So choose 1 or 2 areas for this season. Maybe my English and my health, or my career and my emotional growth. Ask yourself, in 5 years, what would I be deeply proud of if I did not give up in this area? Write it if you can. Step 2. Create a simple, non-negotiable minimum. Being unstoppable does not mean doing huge actions every day. It means refusing to go back to zero. So, for each chosen area, decide, what is the minimum action I will do most days, even when I'm tired, even when I'm not motivated? For English, for example, 10 or 15 minutes a day of contact with English. Listening, speaking, reading, or writing. For health, a 10 or 15-minute walk most days. This minimum is your line. Above that, you can do more if you have energy, but you do not go below it for many days in a row. Step 3. Expect storms. Unstoppable people do not live in perfect conditions. They live in the same world as everyone else. So when things get difficult in your life, you do not say, I cannot do anything until everything is calm again. Because often, life does not get completely calm. Instead, you ask, what does being unstoppable look like in this storm? Maybe in a hard week, your English practice is shorter. Maybe your exercise is more gentle, but you do not disappear completely. You keep a small flame alive. Step 4. Detach your identity from your bad days. Even unstoppable people have days when they do nothing. They skip, they fail, they fall. The difference is, they do not make a story like, see, I knew I could not do this. I always abandon everything. They say, today was a bad day. Okay, tomorrow I return. Being unstoppable is not about never breaking the chain. It is about repairing the chain quickly. Missing one day is human. Turning one missed day into 3 weeks because of guilt is optional. Step 5. Use obstacles as material, not as excuses. When you are moving towards something important, obstacles are guaranteed. Lack of time, lack of money, criticism, confusion, fatigue. People who stop see obstacles as a reason to quit. I do not have time, so I cannot study English. I am tired, so I cannot do anything. Unstoppable people see obstacles as material to work with. I do not have much time, so I will use the small moments I have. In the bus, during lunch, before bed. I am tired, so I will do a lighter version, but I will still do something. This is not toxic positivity. It is responsibility. You accept what is hard, but you still ask, what is possible inside this difficulty? Step 6. Surround yourself with energy, not with poison. Nobody is unstoppable alone. If you are around people who always say, why bother? Nothing works. You are crazy for trying this. It becomes much harder to keep going. You start to doubt yourself more and more. Try to bring into your life, even in small ways, voices that push you forward. Content, friends, mentors who say, yes, it is hard, but you can grow. You are not alone. Keep going. You are building something. Even if you do not have these people physically around you, you can find inspiring voices through books, videos, podcasts. Your environment is like the wind. It can blow against you or behind you. Step 7. Remember who you are doing this for. Being unstoppable is tiring sometimes. You will question, why am I even doing this? So you need a deeper reason than just because. Maybe you are doing this for your future self, for the version of you who will speak English with confidence, who will have more options, who will look back and thank you. Maybe you are doing this for your family, to give them a better life, to be an example of courage. Maybe you are doing this for your younger self, the child or teenager inside you who did not have these chances, who was told, you cannot. And now you are proving that voice wrong. When you feel like stopping, remember this why. Let it speak a little louder than your fatigue. Now let us connect everything very directly with your English. What does it mean to be unstoppable with English? It does not mean speaking perfectly tomorrow. It means you will not allow fear of mistakes to silence you forever. You will not allow a bad experience to define your whole journey. You will not allow your age, your past, your shame to be the final word. You will. Keep contact with English week after week. Speak even if your voice shakes. Make mistakes and then make them again with a little more awareness. Rest when you need, but return. There will be days when you think, I cannot do this. On those days, being unstoppable might mean doing only 5 minutes, or listening to something without pressure, or simply not making a dramatic decision like, I quit. Each small decision to continue, even a little, is a brick in the house of your future. When people in the future look at you and say, you are so lucky to speak like this, only you will know how many days you wanted to stop and did not. That is being unstoppable. Not a superhero. Just a human who repeatedly decides, I will not abandon myself. When this audio ends, ask yourself, in which area of my life do I choose to be unstoppable now? Maybe English is one of them. Then decide, what is the small, honest action I will protect again and again, no matter how many times I fall? Write it. Keep it close. You do not control everything that happens to you, but you control how many times you stand up one more time. And that, over years, is what makes a person truly, quietly, powerfully unstoppable. Thank you for watching.